Now we have covered the simple sum function. Let's move on to a few more functions. We have written down all the names of the functions we will be performing over here, and then we will perform the functions right next to them so we don't lose track of which function we are performing. Let's perform sum first. As you have covered simple sum in the previous lecture, I advise you to pause this video and try this. Let's do this together now. So you will enter equals to for Excel to recognize your function. Then you type in sum and you press tab or you click on this icon to select this. Now you select the range either from the shortcuts which we have learned, that's CTRL, Shift and the downward arrow key, or you simply select it from your mouse. Bracket close and enter. You have performed the sum function. Let's move on to the product function. This will multiply your ranges for you. So you will type in equals to and then product over here, select this. You have to insert your numbers, the ranges. So the arguments for this function are the same as it was for the sum function. You will select your range and you will close the brackets and enter. So this function has multiplied all these numbers here for you. If you wanted to change the range, you can double click on this cell and erase this range and change your range to maybe this. Enter. Now let's move on to the average function. You will again type equals to and average. Excel offers you a lot of averages. We will right now be performing the simple average. So select this from tab and the arguments are again the same. You just have to select the numbers. We will drag our cursor over the range again, brackets close, enter. For standard deviation, you will again do equals to STDEV. Now you have a lot of formulas over here again. In the drop down menu, you will select STDEV, S for sample or P for population. Assuming that this is a population, we will select this and feed in the arguments, which are again the numbers, bracket close and enter. Now the max and min functions will give you the maximum amount and the minimum amount of a function. You will have to type in equals to max, select this and select your range, and it will return you the maximum largest number in this range, and that number is 94. For finding the minimum, you will do equals to min, select this, select your range, brackets close, and this is the lowest number in your range, that's the minimum number. Now the count function will count your arguments, the number of arguments, that would be the cells in which data is given right now. So if I select this range and complete this function, the function has returned me the number 6, which means we have data in 6 cells over here. The count A function counts the number of cells in a range that are not empty. So when you select this and you select this range, it will return to you the cells in which there is data. For count blank, it does the complete opposite by returning you these cells which don't have data in them. So if I select count blank and then given the range, it will return me the number of cells which don't have any data, which are over here and here too. So visually you could have performed these functions a little easily for this range, but when you have hundreds of rows and columns filled with data, these functions will be a lot helpful for you. Now let's look at an interesting feature of Excel. So this bar over here at the very end of your page will give you these formulas when you select your range. If I select this range and you come and look over here, this bar is giving you the average, the count, the max and the sum for these numbers. So you can easily confirm your results from this bar, your sum over here and over here are the same. When I change this range, my results will change automatically. You can edit what this bar shows you by right clicking on this bar and seeing the functions available over here. So if I don't want the count function, I will untick this by clicking over here, and if I want the minimum instead, I will click on this, and when I move my cursor back over here and select this range, now you can see that this bar has been updated to include the new function and exclude the old function. You can see your answers over here and then type them into a cell, the sum, but this will not be useful in your tests as you need to show the function in the cell as well rather than the simple value.